Oh, give thanks. Welcome to the Spice of Life Variety Show. We bring you greetings from the West Angeles Church. And you know what? Look at yourself. You look so beautiful. I can see you. Ha ha. Anyway, we want you to know that it is our pleasure to be with you on today's show. And we want to encourage you, as we always do, to grab your pen and your paper. We also want to hear from you at the very end by copying down our contact information. And so let us hear from you. Let us know what you think of the show. Prayer requests, whatever your heart's desire is. Again, we welcome you in the name of the Lord. Bishop Blake and Mrs. Blake and the entire West Angeles family, from our hearts to your hearts, we say hello and welcome. Pamela Webb, how are you, girl?
I'm great. How you doing, Dr.
Doing
Lewis?
just great, sweetheart.
You're
I'm glad to
looking
see
very
you.
nice. I like
Thank
those
you.
colors on you.
Well, you know, that yellow and black, I love that. That's overcomer colors.
You know, that's overcomers.
Overcomers in the house.
You know, a few months ago, we had the distinct pleasure of having Assemblyman Mark Ridley-Thomas on our show.
We certainly did.
And I know our viewing audience can remember that. Well, today, we even have his lovely wife.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be meeting Mrs. Mark, and can I put Avis Ridley-Thomas today?
Okay, and I think that's a good compliment that first, like you said, we had Assemblyman Mark Ridley-Thomas, and now we have his better half, his stronger half, which is in the person of Avis Ridley-Thomas. Welcome, okay?
Well, thank you so much for having me.
So happy to have you. So happy to have you. Let me ask you this. How long have you been Mrs. Mark Ridley-Thomas?
Well, we've been married this year 26 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
It's been a long time. It's been a lovely time, but it has been a good little while now.
It really has. I know I had the distinct pleasure of attending your wedding, and there were a couple of things that that were just really different that really just amazed me. One of the things were that you and Mark marched in together before you were married, and I said, "Wow, now that's unique."
We did.
Just your whole, you know, your whole day was sort of different and unique.
And we enjoyed that, and we found our vows that we had written not so long ago, and put those up. They were already in the frame. And you know, it gets underneath things sometimes, you know, but we put them back up, and boy, I have the pleasure of reading those over and over again. They were such wonderful vows at that time.
And in this day and time, that's commendable.
Yes,
26 years, that's commendable.
And so I am very happy to tell you that it can be a wonderful life if you're dedicated to doing that. You have to be dedicated to doing it.
That's key.
Both parties.
That's key.
But it is a wonderful life to have.
Oh,
it really is.
That's precious. How much does Assemblyman pay you to say that? I know Assemblyman Mark Ridley-Thomas had to pay her to negotiate something. You know, he's good with that, so he probably did. No.
But now there is something that was key that you had brought up, and it's the name Ridley-Thomas. Would you please just elaborate on that
Well,
for us?
my name was Avis Ridley, and his name was Mark Thomas. And so when we thought about coming together, I discussed that with him. I really kind of liked my name.
Okay.
You know? And so I wanted to keep my name and add his name to mine. And he thought that was a good idea for him as well. He liked his name. But I have to tell you, I think Ridley-Thomas kind of jazzed
That's
it up
a little bit. Yes, it takes it to another level.
You stop looking, listen. Yes, take notes. And that's really great.
And I was so honored that he did that, you know. And so I hear these men fussing about that, you know, I wouldn't do that and all this stuff, but it is such an honor to have him do that. And the boys, I think they have lovely names. Our twin boys, Sebastian Ridley-Thomas and Sinclair Ridley-Thomas. And then they said they wished that I had added one more name for them. Both of them have their father's name as their middle name. But one said, had you added Augustus in there, he said, my initials would have been S-M-A-R-T.
Oh my goodness!
Sebastian Mark, Augustus Ridley-Thomas. So I said, boy, I thought you all were going to complain about your name being so long. You never know.
And they want another. A little bit more.
That's right.
Well, you never know what they may do with their children coming up. They may add. They may add the Augustus in, get that smart.
They may.
How did you and Mark meet?
We met actually in high school. I was the student body president of Fremont High School. He was the senior class president of Manual, where you attended.
Yay, Manual. Manual.
And at that time, they would bring student body leaders together. And so we were on a panel together, and it was the Black Businessmen's Association. And Mark kept the article from that meeting that we had. We were both listed on the panel. And it was there at the Golden State Mutual Life Insurance Company, right on the corner of Western and Adams. That's right. And so we met there, and then later in college, one of my very good girlfriends got married, and he was at the wedding. And so the girlfriend that I had gone there with said, "That man keeps looking at you, girl." I said, "Girl, is he looking at me?" Is that Mark Thomas? And so as a result of being at my girlfriend's wedding, then we started communicating again. And that's what resulted in us eventually being married.
So you literally caught the bouquet. You know, when we had that bouquet, she caught the bouquet. Wow. How long did you associate or date before you married?
A couple of years,
Okay.
2 years before we got married.
Sensible people. They just run into.
No.
Okay.
And how did he propose to you? How did that come about?
Because we want to know.
Well, it was kind of a mutual proposal as well, because I could tell this was such a decent man, and he was so God-fearing and had such integrity. He has never changed. He was always that way, and I just felt so honored knowing him, and so truly, I was the one who started talking.
Yes, but you still
You made a wise decision.
I started a nice little long-term discussion.
You may have taken a break, but you came back.
Right.
Well, I certainly can agree, because Mark and I, Simpleman, Ridley-Thomas and I went to elementary school, junior high school, and high school together. And even during elementary school, he was different.
Yes.
There were qualities about him, and even in our young ages, I could see that this is somebody.
Yes.
He was always in the front leading us. He was always, he always just had those type of characteristics that you just knew that, okay, this is a very special person. And by my maiden name being Thomas, and his name was Thomas, early on we just engulfed and embraced each other, and we became sister and brother. So I'm proud that you're my sister-in-law. Welcome to our family.
All right.
Growing up, did you have any idea that, number one, you would be married to a politician, and that your lifestyle would be as it is now?
I had no idea, and I do feel so blessed and so fortunate in so many ways. But he, as I said, he was just a decent man. Had he been a truck driver, he was a wonderful man.
Wow.
And I just was fortunate to know him, and that we established our relationship. We loved each other. We respected one another. So it truly did not matter what he chose to do in life. But I had no idea that he would choose this particular path.
But you know what, though, Avis, you bring out some very key basic points that we miss. We feel as though that we have to come with billions in our pockets. We have to come with the big house on the hill. Now all that's good, but that's not the main point.
No.
Basically, whatever profession you're in, whatever role of life you choose, be a nice person, be a respectable person, be a kind person, be a loving person.
That's right. That's it. That's what makes the difference. I knew that would make the difference. I told him. I can't tell you the number of times I said, all that is nice. All that, he has this PhD.
Right.
You're brilliant. That's wonderful. But I'm going to tell you, that's not what made the difference.
Wow.
It did not make the difference. I'm sorry it didn't, but it did not. It was that you were a decent person.
Wow.
And He's been that from the day that I met him.
That's commendable. Assemblyman Mark Ridley-Thomas, we salute you,
Yes.
sir, for being such a man of high standard.
Wow.
You know, because he's been just that. You mentioned you had twin boys. Personality-wise, are they both like maybe one of you, or you find one Sebastian or like the other, or how does that work?
Well, they're both very outgoing.
Okay.
And Sebastian, I would say, really adores his father and wants to imitate him in every way. And so he has taken up those characteristics primarily. He's a sweet child. He admires his dad
Praise
and
God.
wants to be like him, wants to walk like him. I still remember one day he was walking, my husband was walking across the floor, and Sebastian was standing behind trying to catch up and get his same gait.
That's commendable.
As he was walking. So Sebastian, I would say, has more characteristics of my husband. My Sinclair is very sensitive. He loves children. He loves to take care of them. He's just a very loving and sensitive child. And I really enjoy both of them. They are such a gift to us. And they'll be going to college soon. And so I'm
Oh, Lord.
The emptiness syndrome.
Oh, my goodness. You have my prayers. Oh, wow. So they're going to be leaving, taking flight.
They'll be going, yes. But I am proud of them. You know, we've done all that we can do now. We really have, and we've done our best.
Right.
And so it's up to them now to move on to do what they need to do in life.
You've done your best, and God's done the rest.
Yes.
And so, like you say, all you can do is entrust them into His hands to
That's
take
it.
them on through life.
That's it.
Now, twins, with you having twins, do twins run either in your family or Mark's family?
Well, we had 9 sets in our family. The boys did that research when they were in elementary school. I had no idea there were 9 sets. They were just twins. I had twin cousins and twin aunts and just a bunch of folks that
9
nobody had
sets.
ever paid attention to.
And they did research. They were inquisitive, and they did.
The boys did. And so 9 sets in my family. So I'd have to say it was that kind of influence in my family. We still didn't anticipate it. And so nobody else had anticipated it ever. In fact, we were the first ones to know, even though we only knew the last month that there were twins coming. But that was still a month more than anybody else had ever.
Wow. So in Assemblyman Ridley-Thomas family,
there may be one or 2 sets, yes, but we didn't find any more.
Okay.
In
But
his
9
family.
sets.
Yeah, there were 9 on my side.
Wow, that's something, huh?
Now, what 3 words would you use to describe your husband?
You know, he is. I thought about this. He has integrity. He is principled, and I'd say a man of God. That his religious orientation is extremely important to him. He was steeped in that from a little child, and he relies on that. As he goes through the challenges of life, and life will present you with challenges. Yeah.
Whole bunch of lemons, honey.
Yes.
And so I have seen him. And he relies on that. And it's fascinating to see the boys and what they observe more than what you just try to teach them, which is what they see in their father. It's just wonderful, wonderful things that they have the opportunity to view. And I really feel honored that he's just the person that he is. And it's so, I have to tell you, I wish it weren't so unusual.
Okay.
I wish more people had the opportunity.
To experience what you're experiencing.
Yes, I really do, because it makes life just wonderful. It really does.
Wow. I know that naturally I'm not around Assemblyman at all too much now, but I know that there's a peace and a calmness within your family, because even, there's just a demeanor that speaks peace and calmness, and I know that he can make his point, and because he has to be able to make his point in his profession, but from your family, from your boys, there's an element of peace that others look on and say, wow, that's really a wonderful characteristic of a family to have. And so,
well, he brings that when he comes with all that confusion that he deals with, and we see some of it, you know what I mean? But he just ensures that his family is taken care of. He just makes sure that he moves all of that away to take the time to ensure that we are cared for the way that we need to be cared for. I'll tell you, the greatest wish I would have for anybody is they'd have the opportunity to have such an experience in a marriage and a family.
that's
Wow.
Assimilant. Once again, we applaud you.
Give him some props.
Yeah, no, we have
Yes.
to, because in this day and time, it's like you say, it's
don't-
rare.
it's rare.
Unfortunately, it's rare.
Unfortunately.
What are some of your hobbies that you and Assimilant like to do?
He enjoys the movies. He really does that. So we try to do that, and he enjoys eating out. And so when we have the opportunity, you know, he does that when he has a moment. You know,
That's rare, huh?
His schedule is one of the most scripted I have ever had the opportunity to view, because they will back up those times, sometimes 3 and 4 things at the very same time. It's that schedule
That he must make.
You know, yeah, that's right. And so he's often trying to do that. Now, you know, I can't do that. And so a long time ago, we had that discussion about, you know, I'm sure all this is important to you, but you know, I have a few other things that I need to do, right? And so it's been all right. You know, he's been able to manage it for himself, and I've been able to manage my little business for myself. And the boys have been, you know, free to pursue their own interests and things as well. So I'm delighted at how things have turned out, that the boys are now going on, you know, to pursue their goals in the world. And so I have an opportunity now with no more children at home to try some things that I haven't tried in a while.
That you've had to put on the back burner.
I'm looking at yoga and transcendental meditation and some dance classes, you know.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Taking the dance class.
We've done that. We've been there. We've raised our children. We've been wise. You know. We have sacrificed our lives.
Right.
Now it's time for us to, within reason, to enjoy our lives. Because I told her I wanted to take some dance classes too.
That's
you know,
right.
and move this body.
That's right.
But you know what? You said something that was key, Avis, and that was that he respected you enough to allow you to be you. Like you said, you came to the realization that, okay, the schedule that you have, I can't handle that. And you were able, number one, to be honest and say that you could not handle that. That's key in a relationship, to be honest. And because pretty soon, really, what's really the real deal is going to come out anyway. And so you could have put on only for so long, and then would have ended up maybe in a negative kind of situation. So you were honest. And then he was able to receive you being honest. And then he was able to let you be who you are, and let the boys be who they were, and not try to fit the definition of everyone who say, well, you know, the perfect family, we have your wife here, your children here, you know, where's your family? What's wrong with your family? Nothing's wrong with my family. My family is being kept and protected from people like you.
Well, you know, that all comes under communication. So could you just tell our viewing audience your profession?
My profession is as director of the Los Angeles City Attorney's Dispute Resolution Program.
And what does that mean?
That means that we help to resolve all types of disputes. We have trained about 1,500 community mediators, and we have a staff of 5, and they oversee the cases coming into our office, and we then assign them and coordinate those cases and follow up with the community members who have these challenges and disputes, and we ensure that we provide the best services possible in the area of dispute resolution. Our services are free to members of the public, anyone who resides or has conducted business in the county of Los Angeles. We handle a couple of thousand matters annually.
Wow.
And that's the work that I do.
Handful. I'm tired. She said a couple thousand. I got tired just then. A similar, she loves you, but like you said, she has her own hands full.
Yes.
What are some what would be your greatest concern, or what might be some of your greater concerns for your husband as him being in the public light?
Well, I have always been concerned that he would choose to pursue those things that he's interested in, that he would have that freedom to do that. And so as he has done that, he's made wonderful choices for his talents. He's done a tremendous job, and I am again honored by what I see happening in our community as a result of his own involvement, the way that he sees the world. It's a unique way, you know. He would take our little jewels in our community that some people hadn't really paid attention to, and would spend his time, and those places could become just so beautiful with the resources that were available in the city. You know?
I would agree.
And so I always derive pleasure. In fact, our dates used to sometimes be, let me go show you the new school that's going up over here. You know, let me show you this new building. And so we would go and see what was going on with the new building coming up, and you know, and the new sidewalks being put in, and the new lights that were being put in various places. You know,
but you could share, but you shared that, and that's wonderful how you shared that.
Yeah,
you know,
those are wonderful dates, I have to say.
See, exactly. Right. Now, what would be your concern about how your husband may be viewed? What has concerned you? What do we sometimes don't understand about Assemblyman Mark Ridley-Thomas? Well,
he is a little private. Okay. So, you know, I think some people misinterpret that. It's okay with me, however they may wish to perceive it. But I love, and this is what he does sometimes. Sometimes we'll go to events, and he will really badly want me to go on occasion. And so one reason I have found over the years is that I'm very comfortable just talking with people. I don't have to know you know, just to get to know you. And so he'll say at the end of the evening, thank you so much, Ava, for going, because he would have talked himself out or whatever. And he would just want me to concentrate on those folks who would want to come to him.
Talk, right,
Right. So I don't mind doing it. I'd have a good old.
See that blend, how they blend together.
That is great. So you compliment him, and while you also helping him, while you also getting some satisfaction yourself.
Yes,
so it's just a win-win kind of situation.
It is. It is. I enjoy myself, but some people, I think, don't understand that sometimes he just wants to be quiet. You know, he derives some of his energy from going internally, and I think I derive much of mine from dealing with a lot of different people.
And you know what? People really don't understand that, because if your profession, if your talents or whatever take you and keep you in front of people, there are some times when you just want to go, you know, like the turtle, you want to go into your shell, and like you say, sort of revive. Because I'm like that also. I have to be out. I have to be out publicly. But then there are times when Pamela is so wonderful. She's like you. She runs the interception for me. Now she can communicate where I'm quiet. People may not understand why I'm being quiet. Right. But I am quiet. I'm not always noisy. Give me a break.
Now, what are some of the joys of being a wife of a politician?
The joy is with being with Mark Ridley-Thomas. It really is. It's not a politician or whatever he would choose to do. Is that this is such a wonderful person that I'm honored to spend my life with. So that is really the joy.
26 years
old. You know what? And for it to be so great after 26 years, for you still to sit here and compliment your husband like that, I think that's just commendable. But you know what, though? As great as he is, I know that you have added to his greatness, because your demeanor, who you are, has made such great deposits into Mark's life that he was able to be the kind of man that...
I hope so. I hope I've contributed to him in some way. He is very appreciative, I'll tell you that, of me, of his boys. He tells us how much he appreciates us being a part of his life the way that we are. And I tell you, that makes it all the better. It's just a very, very sweet existence. It truly is.
Wow. What would be your final thought to the audience? And we're down to the last couple of moments. What would you like to say, either about whatever? What would you like to say?
Well, I'd like to say there are so many challenges in life. And I would encourage people to ensure that they have taken the best care of themselves possible. And to be around people who help ensure that you take good care of the person that you are. There's only one of you, and if you don't take care of yourself, truly you cannot rely on anyone else to do it.
Wow. Well, you know what? Really and truly, meeting Mrs. Mark Ridley-Thomas has been a joy, because we've got a chance to see how the assemblyman is, and also how Mrs. Avis Ridley-Thomas is. And certainly we just so celebrate you. We're so happy to hear about the wonderful family life that you have together. We're so happy to hear that you are a happy, happy wife.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I sure do appreciate it.
To you, our viewing audience, we want you to know that we spent this time with Mrs. Avis Ridley-Thomas, also Mrs. Mark Ridley-Thomas. And we want you to know what she said that she has experienced in her life. We can experience that also.
Yes.
It may take some of us a little bit longer to get there, but we can work on it. Get the help that you need. Seek out those mentors that are positive in your life. And if you're not yet married, don't just run off and just get married, but really take your time. We love you. Until next time, know that we're praying for you. And again, we invite you to copy down our contact information at the very end, and know that we love you. Until next time, take care. God bless. It has been an absolute joy having you on the show.
Nice. Wow. When I can hear you.